What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for thelines.com, playpicks.com. I'm going to talk about Thursday night football between the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. Before we get going, as always, please hit that subscribe button. Support of the channel is really appreciated. Also, give us a thumbs up on the video. It helps YouTube know that maybe this is an important video, or maybe that people might want to watch this video. So it helps us climb the rankings. So you can do your part. I really do appreciate that as well. And then in the comment section, let us know how you are going to be playing this game. What an awesome primetime game. What an awesome Thursday night football game between the Cardinals and the Seahawks. One with a lot of implications as well, of course, in the NFC West. So full written breakdown over here at the lines as always. So come over here and just NFL. Then you'll come here week 11, TNF, Thursday night football. You'll end up right here so that you can read along with the preview. All right, guys. So look. Cardinals 6-3, Seahawks 6-3. We know how important this game is. Both in the upper half of the league in yards per play. Cardinals actually 5th overall in the NFL in yards and net yards per play. 0.8 net yards per play. 5th overall in the NFL. 13th overall net yards per play for Seattle. On the injury front, and I'll scroll down a little bit if you want to read. So on the injury front, listen, Justin Murray is an offensive lineman. Corey Peters is a defensive lineman. And Jordan Phillips, another defensive lineman, out for the Cardinals in this game. On the Seahawks side of the ball, big news is the fact that Quentin Dunbar, Shaq Griffin, both out. Both starting corners. Both starting corners out for the Seahawks. Ethan Pocic out as well. Starting center. Starting center, 2 starting corners, both out in this game. Tyler Lockett's questionable. They say he's going to play. Chris Carson is questionable. They say he's not going to play. Now, that could change between now and the time the game goes off with either one of those guys, but just to let you know kind of how that's going to break down. They will get Carlos Hyde back, however, in the backfield. So it looks like they'll at least have a guy that's a little bit more familiar back there as opposed to running out DJ Dallas on the team. So we'll take a look at the odds, guys. This is DraftKings. We are sitting at an expensive 3 if you want to take the Cardinals, a cheapened 3 if you want the Seahawks, 56.5 your total there. Oh, it has moved to 2.5 here at FanDuel. So it is off the 3. It's an expensive 2.5 on Seattle. And then you have the even money, 2.5 here on the Cardinals, 57.5 your total there. And then it has moved off the 3 as well. So it is an expensive 2.5 on the Seattle at BetMGM, 56.5 your total. So there is a point difference in the total between DraftKings, BetMGM, and at FanDuel, where FanDuel is sitting at 57.5. So let's take a look at these offenses, shall we? Cardinals offense. Pass offense DVOA 13th, rush offense DVOA 4th. They are 4th in yards per play in the NFL. Their pass blocking rank is 3rd overall. Run blocking, not so great, but pass offense has been great. Efficiency is great. Blocking is great. Really, really good offensive side of the ball for the Cardinals, especially in the pass game. Seahawks offense, do I really have to tell you? But listen, you look at the pass offense, 4th overall DVOA. Rush offense is actually up there as well, despite the fact they hadn't had a bunch of success lately. Really what this comes down to, these are season-long stats, and really what comes down to is what we've seen lately from the Seattle offense. And what we've seen lately is they have 10 turnovers in the past 4 games. 7 of those are interceptions by Russell Wilson. They've allowed 11 sacks over the last 2 games. So this team is not trending in the right direction. They're actually trending the opposite way of where we'd want to be going at this point in the season. So yards per play, though, still up 3rd. They're 1 ahead of the Cardinals as far as that goes. But again, just sacks and turnovers have been really, really bad over the last 4 weeks of the season. On the defensive side of the ball, and I'll continue to keep scrolling, what we're looking at from a Cardinals defense here is very middling, right? Doesn't do anything exceptionally well. Rush defense is 11th. Pass defense is 13th DVOA. Coverage is 16th according to Pro Football Focus. So it's basically just kind of like meh. They're middle of the pack on defense on everything. They don't defend the run exceptionally well. They don't defend the pass exceptionally well. They're just kind of in the middle for everything. On the Seahawks defense, we know what this is. It is a historically bad pass defense. One of the worst we've ever seen. If it continues on this route, it might be the worst we've ever seen in NFL history. So if we look at their pass defense, as you would imagine, way down, 26th in DVOA, coverage ranked 25th DVOA, pass rush is 29th, so they get no pressure on the quarterback at all. Rush defense, on the other hand, is a super big strength of this team. They are second overall, according to Pro Football Focus, in rush defense, 9th overall DVOA, rush defense. So they actually do have a strength on the defensive side of the ball defending the run. The problem is they're just really, really bad at defending the pass. And as you remember, when we were talking about the Cardinals offense, that is the real strength of this Cardinals offense. So I'll flip over here and let's look at this total. So 56.5, of course, the point difference between DraftKings and FanDuel. So we would play the over here. So let's make a case for the over. Case for the over is pretty simple, right? This game just becomes a shootout. The middling defense of the Cardinals is not able to handle Russell Wilson and the passing attack. The horrible pass defense of Seattle continues, and the Cardinals and the Seahawks basically march up and down the field trading points. We've seen these two teams play already. It flew over this total. Now, there was some late points and different things like that. But again, first meeting went over this total. We're talking about a team that is giving up a historic amount of passing yards passing yards per game. So the Cardinals should have no problem moving the ball. Now, do those turn into touchdowns? That's going to be the real question here. And we haven't seen anyone really shut down this Seahawks team really outside of the Rams last week, and the Rams defense is exceptionally better. I mean, it's exceptional. It is exponentially better than what we have on the Cardinals side here. So case for the under, if you wanted to play the under, you would go to FanDuel because you're getting that extra point. So if you wanted to play the under over here on FanDuel, under's pretty simple as well. So what if the path of least resistance against the Cardinals, even though they're kind of middling and everything, they do have a worse run defense, actually giving up 4.5 yards a carry than they do pass defense. What if Pete Carroll, because he's getting Carlos Hyde back, decides, let's ride Carlos Hyde. Let's see what he can do. And instead of passing on early downs, which they've been doing all season long, and, going out there and really airing it out, he decides, let's take the air out of the ball. Let's keep Kyler Murray on the sideline. That could be listen, Pete Carroll's old school. That could definitely be a scenario that plays out here. What about another way that we could see this thing go under is, how about this? What if they do move the ball up and down the field, but they just don't turn the things into touchdowns, and there's field goals all over the place, right? Like, what if the red zone is where they struggle throughout the course of this game? Definitely could see, both these teams not being quite as efficient in the red zone as they have been throughout the course of this year. The other thing is Tyler Lockett is questionable for Seattle. Now, he's expected to play. Again, Adam Schefter tweeted out that he expects him to play. But, what if he's not able to play the whole game? Or what if he's only 70%? And then the Cardinals can just roll double coverage on DK Metcalf and tell you to beat us with, David Moore and Greg Olsen. That could be a scenario as well for an under if you're looking to play, an under in this game. My lean is to the over. If Tyler Lockett's going to play, I think he's going to play, right? I mean, this would have been the perfect opportunity to sit him out, short week, so you get the 10 days between the next game in order to get him healthy. So if he's going to play, then I imagine he's good to go. And if that's the case, I do lean towards the over, despite the fact that it's a really healthy number up there. Not in the account yet, but certainly could end up there for me. Player props, and you guys know I love to play player props, and I have one that is in the account already, and that is over 280.5 passing yards for Kyler Murray. The Seahawks are giving up 353 passing yards per game. Only one quarterback has failed to hit 281 yards against them. Kirk Cousins is the only one. So 280.5, when you 281 yards, only one quarterback has not gotten there against this team. And Kyler Murray, look, a few weeks ago is a few weeks ago. It is what it is. But, I mean, he sailed over 280 yards against them when they played a couple of weeks ago. My conservative projections in this game had him right at 300. Had him right at it was like 298 and a half, 299. And again, that was a conservative projection. So this is actually like 20 yards under almost where I had him projected. So over on the 280 and a half, love it a lot. And you can kind of see just getting the 280 and a half at DraftKings, because you look, Kyler Murray over here is 285 over on FanDuel. So you're getting 5 extra yards if you bet this over here on DraftKings. The other thing that I'm looking at, and again, this may or may not make the account, and let's actually take a look at what it looks like at MGM. Let's not forget those guys. So it's 281. So it's still the best place is over at DraftKings whenever we look at that. So rushing yards, and Kyler Murray 57.5, Kyler Murray 57.5, and then Kyler Murray 59.5 over here. Kyler Murray, I don't know if you guys know or not, is the 8th leading rusher in the NFL. That is not a joke. He's the 8th leading rusher in the NFL. He's ahead of guys like Ezekiel Elliott and Aaron Jones and Clyde Edwards-Helaire and all that. He's the 8th leading rusher in the NFL. He's going to run a lot in this game. He's going to run. I actually lean towards the over of 57.5. It looks like you get better juice over here at you do 106 actually, as opposed to 124 over here on DraftKings. So you'd want to head over here to BetMGM and take this. This is way better, guys. So over on the 57.5 at 106 over here. Really do like that a lot, and actually have a pretty good lean when we go to rush attempts. So Carlos Hyde is sitting at 15.5 over here. And then do we have rush attempts even available at DraftKings? Rushing attempts. He's not listed. Carlos Hyde's not listed. As we mentioned, Carlos Hyde is coming back, and I just feel like they are going to try and force him to run a little bit more. Not in the account. I have a lean towards the over on Carlos Hyde on rush attempts, but it doesn't look like I have the option at any of these places for us to be able to go at that, which is unfortunate, because I do like the rush attempts over there. 15.5 though, I'd really love to see more of a 13.5. Maybe the place wherever you're at has something a little bit more in that neighborhood. The other thing here, rushing yards on Russell Wilson, you can see it's 31. It's 31 over at FanDuel, but then you go to rushing yards over here, and it's at 26.5. Now it's juiced to hell at 162, which is unfortunate. We're getting 30 over here at 125. So really it depends on your risk and your bankroll, right? I mean, Russ is going to run as well. He's going to get flushed from the pocket. This offensive line has not been protecting him very well, as we just mentioned, been sacked 11 times in the last 2 games. And so he's going to take off several times in this game. 30.5 here. 31 here. And then again, the 26 is over here. It's just been juiced crazy to 162. 4 yards in quarterback rushing props is much different than 4 yards in other rushing props. Like when we talk about these prop bets, you got to figure out the position as to how valuable each yard is. Though at 162, would not be able to recommend though. That juice is just too heavy. It's 125 for the 30.5. Don't love it as much as I do the high 20s, but definitely do have a lean towards the over on Russell Wilson as well. On this one, you'd want to play it at DraftKings at 30.5. On the side, guys, this is pretty straightforward for me. If for whatever reason this thing gets some late movement on Seattle, favorites tend to get late money. Maybe that'll be the case. If this happens to get to 3.5 for the Cardinals at all, and it did reach 3.5 earlier in the week. If the Cardinals end up getting 3 and a hook, I'll take the Cardinals at 3 and a hook. If that does not end up being the case, I will play the Cardinals in a teaser leg. This game is going to be close. They're going to go back and forth in this game. And I do not see the Seahawks, with that defense in its current form, missing 2 starting corners, with Kyler Murray and them playing so incredibly well, being able to beat this Cardinals team by, what essentially at this point, if you teased it, say it stays at 3, you tease it up to 9, like by double digits. I just do not see that being the case at all. I'll open a teaser leg here, pair it with something a little bit later in the week. And there's several great teaser legs this week as well. If you look down, Chargers come to mind, Packers come to mind, Bengals come to mind. So I'll just open up a teaser leg with this Arizona Cardinals team. If you wanted to play a same game, I would, as I've said, I have a lean towards the over as it is anyway, so it'd be a Cardinals over, same game, if you wanted to go that direction as well. I think there'll be scoring, but I do not think that the Seahawks defense is built to be able to hold a team down and be able to win a game by double digits, especially a team that's been playing as well as the Cardinals have on the offensive side of the ball. Kyler Murray playing unbelievable, and that's how I'm going to be playing this one, guys. So if it gets to 3 and a hook, Cardinals. If not, Cardinals and teaser leg. Open up some teaser legs, pair them with some of these other games throughout the week. There's some good ones, as I mentioned. Same game would be Cardinals and the points on the over, and of course those props we mentioned as well. Full written breakdown over here on the lines as always. Go over here, find your state as well, and click on whatever state you are in to get the very best sign-up offers, free money, match bets, yada, 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 all that stuff like that. Be sure and take advantage of all that stuff. Books are giving out free money right now to get your business, and we have the best offers that you can possibly get, so be sure and do that. How about this? Predict the score in the comment section. If you get it exactly right, we'll ship you an Amazon gift card. So we'll do that as well. We're feeling generous around here. You must be a subscriber. You must have liked the video. And then go ahead in the comments. Spell it out exactly. Seahawks 77, Cardinals 72. And then if you get it exactly right, we'll ship you an Amazon gift card. Appreciate you watching, guys. Appreciate the support. And good luck on all your bets Thursday Night Football.